What's up, everybody? Welcome to Press Pass Live, coming to you late on a Sunday night. It has been a full weekend, but man, we have so much stuff that we're excited to talk to you about, as Madden 19 is just days away, so we could not wait. We had to get together and get a show done. Thank you for tuning in to Press Pass Live. As always, I am your host, the commish, kinda real Nate. Always, I've always got my buddy here, Maniac, that's with us. Our other two buddies could not join us since we started late on a Sunday. I think one's working and one is working for the wife, doing what she's got for him to do. But Maniac, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me on, and can't wait for Madden 19, man. It's the anticipation is growing.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most anticipated games I think I've ever seen us have, period. Lots of positive feedback from the people on the PC and Xbox side who've already had the game, and we're just days away from being able to get our hands on it, and it should be pretty exciting times. If I know correctly, I think that guys who got the Ultimate version, the Hall of Fame version, will actually have it a couple days early, so they should be getting their copies here really, really soon. So just lots of good stuff, and I can't wait. But before we start digging into what we want to talk about tonight, update us to where we are. We're at number 4 on the OMFL Top 20. Kind of catch us up where we were last time. I think last time we were at number 9 or so. So what has happened up to this point, and what should we see when we get to the OMFL Top 3?
Well, I mean, we've already made it up to, we announced number 4 today, and it was Mr. Bill. Bill was our number 4 voted coach from all 32 coaches, and well-deserving for him, you know, being that high and stuff. He's a class act, and really glad that he got that number. And where we at again? The last time I think was it 12?
I thought we were at 9, but we might have been at 12. Go ahead and start there.
All right. Well, Ziploc Andrew, and I'm still pushing for Andrew to change that name to Ziploc, dude. So if you listen to this, Ziploc. Number 11, Mr. Dawson with his Chargers. Number 10, Kevin and those Dolphins. Number 9, Jason and the Titans came in. Number 8, Colin and the Panthers. Number 7, Mr. Pepper with his Giants. Number 6, yours truly, Maniac, with the Cowboys Pats. And number 5, Mr. Nate and the Saints.
Yeah, it was a great honor. I did not expect to be that high at all. I think that, guys genuinely, and that's a good thing, right? It's something I aim for. I think I want my guys to genuinely like me, and that's why I work really hard, is to give them a really great place. So super awesome honor, and yeah, I'm honored to be right there, right next to my buddy Maniac.
Yeah, and whenever I gave the rating and stuff, and I asked you to give me my ratings and stuff, and I thought you were a little too high on me and stuff, but I gave your rating a 99 for content, because Nate, there is nobody that puts out more effort than you do with the content and stuff. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do, and I think I've got you excited about putting out content. I think the thing we got to do is we got to keep it long term. So lots of really, really good stuff like this one that you have done, and that got us to number 4, which is a name that we're all super familiar with, and I think only one of 2 active Hall of Famers in the OMFL right now.
Yeah, I believe that's correct, and his fame keeps growing, I guess, so.
Yep, Mr. Bill got number 4, and that caught us up with the OMFL Top 20, and we're going to get the top 3 here pretty soon. Is there any spoilers, anything that we can kind of keep our eye on to kind of whet our appetite as we wait to see who comes out in the top 3?
Well, number 1's probably it's not going to be a surprise, but I think it may be a surprise to some too. So I'm actually thinking about doing a special 1-2 punch with the 1 and 2, because more likely if I show 2, everybody's going to say, well, I know who's going to be number one. So I think with that one, we're going to do a 1-2 punch on.
That's fair.
Do a special.
Well, speaking of special, that's something that's going to be coming up here really soon. I think on Thursday night, technically, we'll see kind of how tired I am and how late I can stay out after I got a pretty long week that starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. Big training that we do for our coaches before we kick off our year. So I've got a pretty intense couple of days here, but I've taken off on Friday, and we're going to do our first ever Madden release party, and it should just be a whole ton of fun. This is an idea that you've approached me about, and really something that I wasn't too into, just because we struggle with trying to find the right settings and make sure the quality is good, and we've really tried to step it up and do better in that area. But after doing the last OMFL Bowl number 79, where you and I got to do some commentary, and the stream quality was actually not too bad. Look, it's never going to be HD just because of the hardware that we're working with, but man, it was actually a whole lot of fun. And so I'll let you talk me into doing our first ever Madden release stream. And you and I are working on some details and working on some people to get on the show. I know for sure we're going to have League Crawler that's going to come and join us and talk about League Crawler updates and kind of his vision for Madden 19 and kind of where he wants to take his website. Again, we're a big supporter of League Crawler and Daddy League, so please make sure that you sign up for both of those. And you can find the OMFL on League Crawler. Give us a vote, leave us a comment, kind of let people know what you think about the league. We were trying to also fill up the OMFL too from there. But we're going to stream some games. We'll have some commentary. You had a great idea of putting it on CPU versus CPU and just kind of talking about the plays that we see. So we're really going to mix it up, try a bunch of different things. I'll go as late as I can on that Thursday night, and then I'll get up early Friday morning as the kids go off to school, the wife goes off to work, and we'll do it all day long until she gets home and kicks me off, and then we'll come back that night after I get the wife to let me get back on. So it should just be a whole lot of fun. I am just really, really excited about it. Talk about what you're feeling for Madden 19. Just a lot of buzz for it, just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, the community is just in a frenzy right now. If you're on Twitter or any kind of social media, Madden is like one of the trending topics on most of all. It may not be the top topic, it may not be top 12, but it is a top topic that is trending in the social media world. And I tell you that, like you see guys on YouTube and stuff, they're streaming and stuff. I know I've watched Shopmaster a couple times, and some of those guys like that that have been streaming games and playing tournament style stuff. It's something that the community is ready to get their hands on. I mean, I'm just going to be flat out honest. I'm tired of seeing everybody else's opinions about it. I just want to get my hands on it and play.
No, absolutely. That's what I want to do. Like, let's just stop talking about it. Let's get our hands out there on it, and let's start giving our own commentary of what we think about it. Just a lot of excitement. Of course, this is the time of the year where leagues start to come up all over the place, and just a lot of excitement. Owners looking for leagues, and this is the time that we need to take advantage of the momentum that we have as a community and the voice that we have. I know talking to Pootie T of the NBC, he and I talk a lot, and he's excited. Right? He's watching even naysayers who normally talk bad about the game or talking the game up. So lots of really fun stuff, which kind of brings us to that next point of the Madden tournament that's taking place. So this thing was actually birthed from a couple of NBC members, and it's worked really, really well. I think we're getting down to almost the championship game. So, man, this has been a lot of fun and such a hit that I think this will be something that we bring back after about a week after release. We'll start sign-ups for Madden 19, and we'll also do it in Madden 19 as we kind of wait to figure the game out, let any patches come out, maybe any roster updates. I don't know. We always kind of give some time for everybody to buy the game game, get their feel for the game, get some games in. This would be a fun way to do that. So look for the first annual Madden tournament to come back, and hopefully this will be something that we not only do at the end of every Madden to buy some time as leagues start to close up and take a break, but also something that we do back to back as the new game drops so everybody can get warmed up into the new game. The Madden tournament has been a hit, and I think that you played in the tournament.
Yeah, I did. I actually advanced from the first round. Then my second round game, I had to play. Dwayne, and we had one of our top notch games like we normally do and stuff. It was right down basic to the wire. He pulled it out 21-20, and but yeah, it was real fun, and I'm glad to see that both leagues within the community and stuff kind of integrating and getting to know each other and things like that, because they kind of have their little section, we have our little section, and it's good to kind of get together and mingle and get to see more people enjoy Madden together.
Yeah, and it really does bring people together, and I think that though our league rules are completely different, we were able to kind of find some common ground. They gave a little bit, I gave a little, well, we gave a little bit, and it worked out, and guys seem to be connecting and having a good time. So it's definitely something that we will look at bringing right back for Madden 19, as it gives us an opportunity to all kind of play and get used to it. Now I'm kind of skipping around a little bit here because there's just so much that I really wanted to hit on, but it is late at night and I do have a big day to get ready for tomorrow. But I think one of the things that you and I have been kind of talking about for a while, and I kind of brought it up a little bit, and I've kind of argued with myself. I know that I'm probably one of the only people who does that, is argue with himself, but you and I have kind of been discussing some things, and the board's been discussing some things, and I've kind of argued with myself back and forth of, dude, I think good leadership is choosing what to ignore, that there are some things you just got to ignore and kind of move on past. And, if I'd learned, one of the things as a human that I like to do is I just like to watch people who are super successful, right? I like to look at people who are either at the top of their game, the top of their brand, the top of whatever it is that they are into, whether it's a company, whether it's just a talent, whether it's just a passion of theirs that they follow through. And like, how did those people get there? I love listening to Howard Stern as he does interviews with top celebrities, and you hear people's stories, right? I'm a big story person, and I think that when I do that, right, one of the people that I'm super always intrigued by is Vince McMahon in the WWE, right? And he's got this multi-trillion-dollar company, and he is taken over and monopolized I don't even know that it's so late at night, my brain isn't working, but a genre of business that is not, something that a lot of people, it's not cool, at least it not used to be cool to be a wrestling fan. It kind of is now, but here's a guy who's kind of just taking this and just created something that no one else can even really touch. And so it's like, how did he get there, right? And I think one of the things that he does is that he doesn't really worry about the competition. He just kind of worries about what does he do and what does he put out. And so, look, I think I want to just name this because I think so many people are going to be over there. But there are a couple of leagues out there, not one in particular, but I guess here's what I'm trying to say. I'm stuttering on my own words here, trying to put full sentences together at 10:30 at night when I'm dead tired. But I think this is what I'm trying to say, is that we've had people leave here. You will see if you're on Daddy Leagues, there is a league that doesn't really advertise all that much called the OMFL Zone. That league does have some history with us, and I'll be glad to share that history. We're not going to do it on the show, but if you ever get intrigued by that, I don't mind talking about it. But there is some history there. A couple of their owners recently have come over here. I did not go after them. These are just old friends of either mine or other guys here in the league that have come over here for a second league, and I hope they stay. I know that sometimes guys have a hard time doing two leagues, but hopefully that they stay. But along with that, we've also had a couple of owners, two in particular, who were big-time members here, who were board members, who were close guys to me personally. who've decided to leave. One was a family member in Winnipis who was here and started, helped me start the Grown Folks online community. He helped me run the Grown Folks Madden League before we got our name back and got our history back. And so he and also Hude recently, who is kind of come back and from what I understand is healthy, which is a really good thing and something we're super happy about, and a guy that is a Hall of Famer here in the OMFL. But both of these guys have decided to leave and kind of do their own thing, and I know that recently Hude's league has talked to a lot of our owners. I kind of have some feelings about that, but I want to kind of keep this positive, and guys are allowed to, no one owes me anything. Nobody owes me anything to only play here. That's not the kind of person I am. Guys play in as many leagues as they want to play in. Go have fun and enjoy yourself at your hobby. The one thing that I think that I wish would have been done in this situation is just a conversation with me. When I left the OMFL many years ago to start the Grown Folks Madden League, before it became a community and before I got my name and history back, I left on my own, went and started my own thing without anyone. Wynn followed me because he was my family member, but I didn't take any owners with me. I didn't message owners. I just wish a conversation would have taken place with me to say, hey, I'm starting a league. I'm going to talk to some friends that are in your league, right? Just as a courtesy. But anyway,
Right.
I think at the end of the day, I want guys to know my true feelings, and that's that we care about Hude a lot. I wish him well. We are so glad that he is healthy. We offered him to come back in the OMFL too. Of course, he wanted back in the OMFL. There just are no open slots, and I'm not going to boot people, and so he decided to go ahead and start his own league. Piece of me wishes that he would have taken his talents, because he is super talented, and brought his league underneath the Grown Folks umbrella, but he chose not to, and we wish him luck. Yeah, and so I just want I guess I kind of want to talk about things out in the open. I didn't want this to be some hush-hush secret. Does Nate know? Does Nate not know? How does he feel about it? There are no hard feelings there. I wish no ill will towards Win, the OMFL zone, and definitely not towards Hude. I hope all these leagues explode and just do really well. They all bring very different talents. I will always wish that those guys are still here, and I think that's one thing the Madden Ballers League for Xbox NBL does really well, is they keep super talented guys, and they plug those dudes in. They let them do their own thing. And I think the catch-22 with that is sometimes super talented guys like these guys often, it's part of leadership, think that they can do things better, want to do things their way, and so they often feel like they need to go start their own league. So anyway, I just want to get that out of the open. Yeah. You guys know how I feel about it, and we wish Hude well. Anything we can do to kind of support him, and hopefully the guys that are here, that you guys, I have enough relationship equity that you guys would, at least be open and honest with me. I think that's the only thing that I feel like I am owed, is I'm open and honest with people in this league, that I at least get the same openness and honesty returned back to me. And yeah, look, I will always be a guy who is super loyal and faithful to my members and to my community. And that kind of leads to this next discussion. And if you have thoughts on that, feel free to share them. I'm not trying to put you in a bad position, though, to give you pressure to say something. I just mainly want to say, look, I know this is a thing. I know many of you are playing, or not many of you, but a handful of you are playing there. And I just don't want unnecessary things to be there, and I think that happens when things aren't talked about in the open. So I want to get it out in the open. I do know what's going on. We do wish him well. We wish him luck, and anything that we can do to support him, we will do that, as long as it doesn't hurt our community. And yeah, you guys are more than welcome to do what you please with your time. You don't owe us to only play here, but we do have an option. And that kind of transitions us to our next conversation. That's the OMFL 2, which was started by Maniac, and unfortunately had to step away for health issues and family things. And he's so glad that he's back with us. And Chaotic has done a great job to try to take that and keep that momentum going. But we have 17 open teams, and a lot of the OMFL guys will kind of go back and forth. And as happens with second leagues, as guys go to a second league, they like to draft and build their team. But as soon as they start losing, they lose they lose passion to play, right? They just end up going back and playing in the OMFL. So because of that, the ebb and flow, the OMFL 2 has a lot of open teams, and I really want to push to fill them up. And to do that, Maniac and I have been really just tossing things around. I've been talking to the board about a ton of different things, probably annoying them with many of them, but we're really going to up our game with content. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We just want to not necessarily worry so much about what others are doing, but give them stuff to be copied. And we are copied often by a lot of things, and that's totally fine. Nobody, there's no copyright on good ideas. Everybody has good ideas, and if you find something here that works for you, then please, by all means, use it. But we want to give them more stuff. And so to do that, we're going to do some live stream games this year that have some commentary on them, just like we did for the bowl game. Hopefully we can do every bowl game.
That was so fun.
It was a ton of fun. And then, of course, Maniac with this amazing idea with the top 20 list that has really blown up all over the Madden community. Tons of people are watching it and reading it and taking that idea and making it their own. We're really going to up our game in a lot of different areas. And so we are looking for ideas. We're looking for things. I'm going to try to bring it back to hot seat, which I didn't do at all for Madden 18, but I definitely want to bring the hot seat back. These weekly Press Pass Lives will keep coming out. The game of the week, I'm going to do my very best to keep these coming out. So there's just a lot of different ways that we can keep content coming out, and we're going to do that so that we can keep you engaged. And as part of that has been our incentive plan, which we said was going to change and which has changed. So if you have not checked out the incentive plan, make sure that you go check out the incentive plan. There's a whole new criteria. We've added a lot of different ways that you can begin to earn points, and we've upped those award points from 55 to 75, from I think 35 to 55, and I think it was like 30 to 35. So 35 is the bronze, 55 is the silver, and 75 is the gold. And here's kind of the thought process behind that, and I'd love to get your ideas about this, Maniac. Is we really do want to award guys who are in-game very good. And I think that those guys get awarded by in-game XP, and by XP that they earn through training, and just by playing more games because they get to play into the playoffs. But what we've decided to do is at the end of week 17, before we advance into the playoffs, we're going to zero out XP. So there'll actually be no XP awards for in-game awards, such as Pro Bowl, such as Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. And then we will bump them back up to 25%. And so you'll get a 25% what you normally would for your playoff run. So you get a little XP for making the playoffs. And then instead, we're going to put up votes for every award that's in the game. So Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player, MVP, and Pro Bowl. And if you get awarded to the Pro Bowl, and if you get awarded to one of these awards, we will then hand out XP. Now, we're still trying to figure out what this looks like. This is something that I think is going to be brand new. I don't know of any other leagues that do this. Maybe they are, but I just don't know of them. But it will be something like Pro Bowl starters get 2 XP that you can use. Pro Bowl backups get 1 XP that you can use. Rookie Player of the Year, will get 3 XP. And we're still working on those numbers, but the votes will count and your awards will count, and that is how you can earn those awards along with our incentive program. And that's just something I'm really, really excited about trying and getting us to figure out in the first couple of seasons, fine-tuning it, and really by the end of Madden 19 having a really great system that people are super into.
Yeah, I really like that idea, Nate. I think it's really one of the things I've always pushed is things that are more engaging in the CFM, interactive content. This is basically interactive content that everyone participates in, and it affects how the game will be played. Outside of the game. Uh, I don't think I've ever seen anything like I've been in so many different Madden leagues. I've been a part of the Game Changer program where I've been connected with so many different leagues and websites and different things. I don't think I've ever seen anything done like that. And I think it's going to be this is something that I kind of had talked to John White, and he probably won't even remember because it's been, I guess, 3 years since I've been a Game Changer and stuff. But I wanted interactive things within inside the CFM, like even simple things like voting for the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
host city, things like that. Where the guys could vote, just things that let them be a part and be engaged in the game. And if we can't get it in game, and the game is really good and really solid gameplay wise, then we're gonna take the game and take up the notch, and take up the slack, and we're gonna be the ones that's gonna produce this stuff. And hopefully, with doing things like this, the community will see, maybe even the devs will see these things and stuff, and we might actually put a change into future Maddens.
Yeah, I think that you're kind of helping us do that, right? Really get our voice out there. Now, we're never going to be one of these leagues that really, just super self promote, and we're just going to do what we do. And that's what I want our focus to do. Let's just do what we do, and it will make a way for itself. And people will take notice because we're doing things with passion and excellency and really trying to step up our game. Look, this is going to take us a little while to figure out, right? It's going to take us a little while to play with some things and maybe not get it right and then get it right. Like, we're going to play with a lot of things. But if you think about the things that Maniac help us create, whether it's the feedback forums, whether it is the incentive plan, submission forms, whether it's one of the things that we do that I think is, and maybe I'm the only nerd that thinks it's awesome, but like our instant classic submission game thread, where you can go back and you watch games from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, like, that's just freaking awesome to me that anybody who joins here can go back and watch some of these old classic NFL games. And as we keep building this library, I mean, we're going to have a massive library of games that people can go back and watch. So, like, this is just one of the many ways that we are trying to change the CFM community and how people commissioner leagues and how people play in leagues.
Yeah, and light bulb alert, you just gave me an idea. Talking about throwback games and games that have been played 4 years ago. Why not
Yeah, I know where you're
so
going.
often? Let's replay it.
Yeah.
And do commentary
Yeah,
over the top of
absolutely. No, you're
it.
right.
That would be the coolest thing ever. And that way, we're also bringing attention to it from guys that's new in the league.
Yeah, you're right.
And things like that. And we can blurt it out on social media, and hey, I think it's I don't know. You get me started, Nate.
No, you need it. You need to write that one down. I think what I'm also going to do is I may ask Maniac, because I think he just kind of handed a new role tonight in his already expansive role on the board. So Maniac's kind of job, since he was with us and then left and we never really filled the position, so now that he's back with us on the board, is being our systems guy. So he helps us create all the Google forms and things like that, and that we've kind of adjusted and fixed and messed with and modified over the years. But also it's going to be about content. And so I may ask him, I've asked him a couple different things tonight, but I may ask maybe if we just get a thread up in the main, or maybe in the league news forum, that's just a sticky that just says, content ideas, and then as guys get ideas, they can post them, such as your idea. I think that's a great idea, and then we can just start working on some of these. Or if there are guys who have time and they're like, hey, I got time, I want to do something, I don't have any ideas, they could go to that thread and go, oh yeah, I could actually do that. Like, that's an idea that I could get done.
Yeah, and playing off each other. A guy may have a great idea, like you said, and he don't have time to do it, but then somebody else takes that idea and maybe implements something that, hey, well, they're doing it this way and it's not going to take as long, so maybe I can do it. Or you have somebody else have an idea and they can't really figure out the logistics of it, and somebody else has come along and say, hey, let's we can do it this way, and this way. and just feed off each other. And I know there's guys that are not on the board and stuff. That they've got ideas out there, and they kind of like, well, I can't do it, or I don't have the time. And they may not speak up, but if you have an idea like that, post it. Don't feel ashamed of it, because it might be something that could be a game changer.
No, absolutely. I think there's a lot of really good ideas that we're all floating, and we got to get the band back together here soon. Everybody's super busy here, but we'll get the whole band back together here really, really soon. Let me just transition to one other piece that I wanted to make sure that we talked about, and I really wish we're going to do this later. Maybe on the stream we can really dive deep into some of these things. It's just so late at night, and yeah, I don't want to keep anybody up too late, but I did want to get a show out. But I'm kind of giving everybody a inside look to the boardroom. Nobody really has access unless you're a board member to this, but you can see it on my screen. There's nothing anybody can see on there that would get frustrated or upset about, but you can see I want to show that there's proof in the pudding. I have got almost every rule that I think is going to go away with this new game, or at least be modified. It's up there. You can see right here on your screen in the boardroom, I've started a thread for every single one of them. We're going to test these rules, and I just want to show that I'm serious about if the game adjusts, if the game changes, and we can get rid of some of these rules. If there's no need for some of these rules, I'm not a guy who just wants rules for the sake of having rules. I think one of the bigger changes that I feel like will happen, now we got to test it, we got to see, maybe a modified instead of just disappear, but I think the cutback rule will be diminished, if not go away completely, because now in the game, if you try to do these crazy, as soon as I get the handoff, I'm going the opposite direction, I'm cutting back 3 gaps, your player will literally stop. I mean, he will just stop running, he will stand there, and you're going to get tackled in the back. So there's no reason to have a rule if the game keeps that thing from being a thing anymore. Now if you make a good cutback, because it's a good cutback and you do it the right way with momentum and player movement and all that, then you're going to get awarded for it. Then I'm fine with that cutback, right? And so we're going to talk about every single rule that we have. Look, I'm serious about trying to make this the best place for you guys that this can be, and I think that one of the ways is making sure that our rules are up to date, that they reflect the current game that we have, that we stay true to what we're trying to achieve, and that's fair play games.
Right.
And any way that we need to do that, we're going to do that. But I am dead serious about us looking at our rules and really adjusting to fit this new game, because I think this is going to be one of those pivotal Maddens that Madden just looks different from here on out after.
Yeah, I agree. I think with everything that I've seen and what we got a little taste of with the beta and stuff, I really think this is going to be the Madden that kind of transitions to a new era in the Madden. And so, like you said, if it's something that won't affect the game, like in times past where guys had these cheesy runs where they could just like cut off the snap, as soon as they got the ball and stuff, that's not real. It's not realistic and stuff. But now, and I did try this in the beta and stuff. Like, you have to take the steps in order to get your player to change direction. You can't just automatically go steps to the left, if you're going to the right and be at full speed. So now it's it takes the process of counting all the steps in the motion and stuff. And I think it's going to be a good deal. And I do like that we're looking at evolving with the game as well, and not just staying stagnant and say, well, no, because this was this way 5 Maddens ago, we're just going to keep it that way, and so me as an owner, I appreciate that.
I think over the next couple of weeks, I will also, as we update these rules, take time to update our videos. I make a video of all the rules where I just try to give the heart of the rule. Some rules are not always black and white, and sometimes following the black and white, you still miss the heart of the rule. So I want to make sure that I update those videos. So look for the updated videos to come out. There's just a lot of good stuff. Like, I get excited thinking about all the things, but there's also a lot of work that needs to be done. So one of the things I've seen a lot lately is people asking, when are we starting? Where are we starting? How are we starting? And they only get these, like, gray area answers, and there's a reason behind that. It's because we just don't know. So here's the thought. Here's what we're thinking as the new game drops. Number one, it's going to take time for people to get the game. I mean, it's just plain and simple. There's a lot of games coming out right now. Look, I have a family of 4. I work for a nonprofit. Yeah, I'm not getting rich anytime soon doing this, and my PSN is due, right? And I just spent $1,000 to get my kids ready to go back to school, and like, money is money for everybody, right? Not everybody is got a lot of disposable income, so we were going to give time for people to get the game. We're not going to replace owners because they need a couple weeks to get the game or whatever. Plus, it just takes time to play the game. Like, we all need to get the game. We need to play it. We need to get used to it. We need to practice. We need to test a ton of stuff. We need to find out, are we going all Madden or are we going all pro? We need to figure out what sliders are we going to have. Operation Sports will be something we lean on heavily because a lot of people will be testing sliders, and we need to take those sliders. We need to test them ourselves. Me and Maniac have spent so much time for Madden 18 in the lab together, separate, just testing things and trying things. So that we got to put in the time to do that. We need to test XP sliders. We need to test Madden sliders. We need to test settings, to get that hour and 10-minute game. Is that 8-minute quarters? Is it 10-minute quarters? Is it run clock? Like, what does it look like exactly, right? Things are going to start getting nerfed. They just will. As soon as the game drops, people start complaining. They send out patches to nerf things. What are they nerfing? What do we need to adjust? We need to give time for all that. So it's probably going to take us, 10 to 14 to 18 days before we actually put up the real franchise and start getting rolling. The plan is to allow for any updated rosters to come out that allow us to use the full 75-man roster. I just make that executive decision that I want players in this league to have their full 75-man rosters to decide who they want to keep, who they don't want to keep, who they want on a practice squad, who they don't want on a practice squad. And yes, trades will be happening all the way up to that point. We're not going to make every trade right. We're just not. Like, sooner or later, we have to draw the line and move on. And this is what I find the funny part is people get put out about some of those things, but 2 months deep, a month deep into the game, they completely forget what they were put out about. And so, look, you'll get a draft and you'll get to get your own players, and it's all going to be fun. And so give us some time, but that's the idea, is for get a test franchise up, play a Madden tournament with the NBC, the OMFL 2, and to really push filling up the OMFL 2, push some new content out. Part of that content is going to be me really trying to up the game for the Daddy Leagues content podcast that I do. Pootie T and I are going to start doing a one-on-one, and then we'll have some guests on there. I'd love to have Maniac on there, and D-Wayne. My guys don't ever come on those Daddy League podcasts, but he and I are going to do like a dual host and then bring on a third person from time to time and do them every single month, so there's constant content. And so we're going to get those rolling. There's a lot of things that need to happen. I would, if I had to guess, since the game's coming out so early, probably that last week of August is whenever the league will get rolling and get started with real games. I plan on, allowing us to play at least 2, maybe all 4 of the preseason games just for the first season. Just again, so we can get used to the game, play the game, let everybody, let's find out what rules need to change, what new rules maybe need to get created, right? Things just happen as the new games come out. Right. So a lot of stuff to figure out, but super exciting time.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that. And I think, like with the game coming out and stuff, guys, I've seen a lot in the chat, want to know when we're going to start, when's it going to happen and stuff. Well, I mean, if you think about it, last Madden or Madden 18, it came out so late in August. Mm-hmm. It's normal time that, well, by the time we started the league, it was already in the middle of September. And so now we're actually still going to, we got the game earlier in August, and we're still going to be able to get the league rolling way before that. And I think that may even include possibly getting another season in.
Yeah,
than what
I
we
agree with you.
have.
No, I 1,000% agree with you. We probably will get in another season. Just a lot of exciting things. And, I'm so proud to be a part of this community. Just as another push, I think I sent one out today. We are still looking for platinum owners. We did fill all the needs that we have, but man, I want to do more. And to do more, it takes finances, right? It takes resources. And the do more is like I want to give away, we're going to give away a t-shirt for the Madden 18 tournament. I want to do one for Madden 19. We'll give away a t-shirt there. I want to give out t-shirts throughout the year. Man, I'd love to buy Red Dead Redemption and give it out, as a prize some way, somehow. I'm trying to get my hands on MUT codes that we can give out during the live stream. I'd love for us to get to a place where we have enough money to buy 1, 2, 3 Maddens and be able to give those out as prizes. Like, I want to do those things, but it takes resources. So we are looking for some more OMFL Platinum members if you want to participate in that. If you donate over $100, you do get a shirt of your choosing. And then there's also some threads that I started tonight of a shirt for every, a thread for every league in the community. That's a shirt thread. So if you have an idea of a shirt that you want to see, I just kind of envisioned one that I want to work on that says, Madden God on the front with like the OMFL symbol behind it. I was rocking my OMFL shirt, which I absolutely love, on the beach this past weekend. So just a lot of fun stuff, a lot of great things. And this is the kind of community that I always envisioned us being. And I'm just so lucky and proud to be a part of it.
Well, I'm lucky and really that I found this league through. Well, on my own, I would have never found this league, I don't think, because I don't know, I just kept missing it somehow. But I had some buddies that were in here. They got me hooked up. I fell in love with it. We kind of stepped away for a while because of whatever issues it was. But I'm so thankful I got back in, and I'm glad that I can be a part of something special here, and to be an active member that's creating content and doing things not hinder the league or the community, but actually help it grow in some shape or form. So
no, and you're such a key member here, as all the board members are. I mean, all these guys invest so much into the league, and I'm just super proud to be a part of it. And I think that with our earlier conversation, I think when you decided to walk away, both the first time with your friends to go start a league, and then the second time for health reasons, you did it the right way, right? There were conversations, there was communication. I understood your reasoning, and I always want to make sure that to the best of my ability, that I've created not only as a leader, but a place, a community that anyone can always come back to, especially if they leave the right way. Even if people leave the wrong way, I think everybody deserves a second chance, and I think I've proven that. Everybody that's asked for a second or even third or fourth chance has had that opportunity. There's some guys, right, that have done some things that, I just don't think this is a fit for them anymore. But at the end of the day, I want this always to be a place that people can come back to, and you're so key in that. And it just makes me excited to be a part of the community. There's some really, really good dudes in all of the leagues, and just a lot of momentum in the community as a whole. Lots of content being produced. I mean, there's tons of videos that people can go watch, and just lots of really, really good stuff. So it's been a pleasure, and I'm excited to see what Madden 19 brings to us. And look, the new golf game's dropping here in another week or two. FIFA 19 is going to be dropping in September. The new WWE game will drop in November, October. The Red Dead Redemption will drop sometime this fall. H1Z1 is going live on, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Just like there's so many really good things that if you want to get into and you want to be a part of a really great group of guys who like the game and just be friends, then this is the place to be.
All I can say is if you're bored, it's not our fault.
Yeah, no, there are plenty of options for you to jump into. Yeah, and I'm super proud. So I guess enough of a love fest. We've been 43 minutes deep, so we're going to cut it off a little short tonight. But give me any closing thoughts. We've talked about a lot. We didn't dig deep into a whole bunch of stuff. As I sent my message out to all the owners tonight, go back and watch the last couple of Press Pass Lives with all of us a couple of weeks ago, and then Maniac and I the last couple of weeks. We hit on a couple of these, and then look for the stream that'll be up on Thursday night. I think that Thursday and Friday is really when we're going to dig deep. I mean, I've never done that. I've never taken a day off and just went all in on a stream and just like spend as much time as I could just talking and playing. And we're going to do that, and we'll really dive deep into these ideas. And so many of you have PM'd me, whether it's donations or rules ideas or content ideas. We take all that into account and we talk about it, and I'm just super excited. So give me some closing thoughts as we wrap up Press Pass Live number 102, which is crazy. 102 shows.
102, that is awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to the live stream that we're going to be doing for the release night and stuff. I was supposed to be off all day Friday, but now I had things that come up and stuff, so I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not going to be able to do all that I wanted to do and stuff, but I'm still going to be available. I'm really excited to get on there with everybody, get some things rolling. It's going to be fun times. I mean, it's going to be something new. Like I said, I've watched guys do things before on release night, but to actually be a part of creating things and stuff like that, it's going to be exciting. And I'm hoping to have the game that night as well. I may have to drive a 70-mile drive just to get it that night, but that is my plan. And then also, I'm just going to kind of drop this out here. I am looking at an idea of starting a superstar league, so more details to come out for that. I think it's going to be kind of cool. And if you sitting there thinking like, well, what is he talking about? Just think of the wrestling league, but kind of put it into Madden perspective. So
that's cool.
It's going to be something like that, and it'll be interactive and engaging, I think, as well. And it won't be a whole lot of demand on it and stuff. We'll take some time to go through it, but I'll have more details on that later. But to wrap up on this, I think is great. I'm ready to get Madden in hand, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with you on the release stream. So
yeah, it should be a ton of fun. And the board has seen I've been working countless hours learning After Effects, and I've made a bunch of new intros. So Maniac had a really great idea, and I actually found a place that's going to do some voiceover work for us, and so we're going to have this super cool new OMFL Press Pass Live intro that's going to be out on some new streams here really, really soon, as I finish getting it together. And you can see the new layout that we have here, and just a lot of new fun things. And this is a really exciting time for all of us to be together, and yeah, I wouldn't want to do it with another group of guys. So, Maniac, thanks so much for giving me some of your late Sunday night. I'm going to go get my butt in bed, as 6 a.m. is going to be here before I know it. Maybe do a little studying before I hit the sack. But, man, exciting things coming, and I'm ready to get through my work week, get to Friday or Thursday night, download that stupid game, and let's go play some Madden.
Let's get ready. See you on the gridiron.
All right, guys. God bless. Have a great week this week. I love all of you guys, and we will see you right around the corner. Peace.
Later.